Okay, welcome to Wayne's World and Kelly's 86th episode with the one, the only, the third-time visitor, Derek Holland, and everybody has a question. And what is it? I had to do that. Someday we'll be more technical, but Derek goes, I gotta let the dogs out first. So it inspired me to that great hit from the back in the day. So now you know the answer. Derek, you let the dogs out. How are they?
They are good, but I only got to let one out. The other one stayed upstairs. No, nothing bad. Sorry, I didn't mean to make you think like one just died. No, he's
you kind of freaked me out there, buddy. Thanks.
Sorry, he stayed upstairs. And the other one just wanted to go out. So I let him out real quick because he was with me, and that was it. But now I get to, since I delayed the show this morning, I actually don't think I truly delayed the show now. Because I didn't have the proper link.
You didn't have the proper link because sometimes I need to use these more often when I'm using the computer.
As we get older, we tend to lose our eyesight.
Oh,
reading becomes hard.
One of many things that you lose when you get older. Boy, you have so much to look forward to.
Well, if only we had a teleprompter in front of us at all times to let us read what we need to read, I think we might be better.
Yeah, well, a lot of guys that have teleprompters can't read them very well either. So,
I know
I do like to know
that one for
so
sure.
You're now the GOAT. I like that. You are the greatest of all time. You're the greatest guest of all time on Wayne's World and Kelly.
And I've made it 3. This is my third or is my fourth?
Your third, yeah.
Dang it.
Yeah, so
I want 4.
I like it.
I gotta be greedy. I want that fourth one.
Wayne had so much he wanted to talk to you about. So we didn't connect. Wayne is on the road. We tried to do this show without you, which that's not even possible. And he kept blanking out. And it was, I'm like, it just wasn't meant to be. So when you shot out to me and said, hey, what's going on? We were just delaying the show so we could do this. But I apologize.
So he can't get in?
Wayne is now is walked into a trade show. So it's okay. We'll be fine without Wayne. Won't we? Come on, buddy.
Of course we will.
We've been friends longer than you and Wayne.
Yeah, we've got this on lockdown. And you know what? That just means I have to be on the fourth episode because Wayne didn't get to participate today. So now it's just got to happen. That's
not to mention Wayne's just not going to be happy. I mean,
see, so he wanted. What I'm saying.
And I can't say the guy's name, but so let's go ahead before we just do our whatever the heck we're going to do, which nobody knows, including you and I.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a fact, Jack. Stripes.
We don't need a script. We have our own.
We don't need a teleprompter. Hell,
we might.
I can't read anyway.
Yeah, I can't. We're all lost.
You're right. So what Wayne was dying to ask you about is your thoughts on this guy that's getting, what's he getting? $70 million a year for 10 years, and his interpreter just got in trouble for $4 million worth of gambling debts. What do you want to mention it? Or you don't have to.
Yeah, no. I can say, I'm allowed to have my own opinion on this. And I will say this right out the gate. Pete Rose is like this right now. Just what are we going to do? Which I'm not going to lie. I saw a video from Pete Rose that said, I wish I had an interpreter back then that could take the fall. And that's, I'm kind of, I like, as funny as that is, I mean, it is true. I'm curious what they do because Shohei is, like the face of baseball. He is the hottest thing, the best thing that's ever come to the baseball world. And now we have this. And to me, I'm sorry, man. Like, I don't care how much money I've had. I'm going to notice if somebody was in my account, first off.
Right.
Second, if I'm in his shoes, if my interpreter is building that much debt, that's on you. It's not my responsibility. So to try to cover for him, knowing because we have it plastered every locker room, everywhere you go. You read it. Well, I'm not saying he necessarily reads it, but they read it to us every spring training. It's mandatory to hear the betting rules of baseball. You cannot bet in the game of baseball.
Right.
So to me, there's no excuse. So
Or did his interpreter say, it is okay to
you're going to
bet
get me
on
in trouble there.
Wouldn't it be the first time
I've done that? I know.
We
can't.
as I was
It's
saying,
like you
I was
can't
having
joke.
a flashback to that. Sorry.
No, you're good. We can't joke like that. You'll get in trouble.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, unless if this is real, his interpreter really did it, and he really came up to him and didn't tell him that he was betting on baseball. Maybe he's told him he had to have been betting on something else.
I thought he was betting on soccer. Was it
I
baseball?
thought it was baseball. I mean, he's betting. That's the only thing I know. So I mean, it could be soccer and baseball. So I don't know.
Right. 4 million. You could spread a lot of bets on that.
I mean,
you could be
that's
betting
a
if we're going to
lot.
make it 20 minutes on the show. Not using a bad word.
I haven't done it. I've been good.
I think I already did. I think I might have said something.
No, you didn't. We're good.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
We'll find out. You'll get scolded.
Yeah.
But yeah, to the whole betting side, I don't know. I mean, that is so much money to be betting. I get it. He's got that. So it's not like that's like chump change to him, but still something's going to happen. And I'm very curious what it is. And I know if they do anything that would remotely go against what Pete Rose had to deal with or anything like there's got to be something there for Pete.
I think what they should do is Pete needs to go in the Hall of Fame.
Yep.
Pete didn't bet on baseball, did he? Didn't he bet on other stuff?
No, he did.
Oh, he did? Oh.
He bet on like his games and everything. But the thing, like, this is my
But
thing
he bet
too.
for him to win?
Correct.
Okay.
That's where now I get it. You know, if you're betting to lose, you do and you have an influence in the game. Yeah, 100%. But he was betting on himself to win. And like to me, it's like that's not doing anything but helping the team. He's trying to do everything he can to win.
Right.
So I mean,
and he was trying to win regardless of the bet.
Yeah, he didn't give two shits about that. It's just more of I'm going to do my job today. I mean, that's Mr. Hustle.
Right.
You know, that's I just find it weird. Like if you're going to do anything, then like you said, as Kelly said, put Pete in the Hall of Fame. To me, okay, let me ask you this. If they put him in the Hall of Fame and you're on the other side, do you care as much about the Shohei thing?
Right.
Does that okay, Pete's in, does that change your views of anything for Shohei?
It's not for me. It doesn't. I mean, I don't, to me, I don't really care. I love baseball and what people are doing other than that, as long as they're not hurting anybody, to me, it's really not that big of a deal. I'm a little bit offended by his contract. What a freaking contract.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And you know, it's funny is he's still making so much money too from Japan and all the endorsements.
Right.
Like we're talking a lot.
Yeah, it's, you know, he's doing okay, but it's just a shocking. It's baseball doesn't need this, and that's the sad part.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's, you know, that's the part I don't like about it, as I just don't like seeing clouds on sport. Well, let's be really weirdly topical. I don't know anything about P. Diddy, Sean Combs, right?
I mean, I know his music.
I don't know his music. Somebody was asking me, name a song that he does. I'm like, I don't know. But I've always liked him. I always thought he was an entertaining individual. And if the stories are true when he was trafficking kids and drugs, I got a big problem with that. If they're coming after him for coming after him's sake, then I don't like it. And I don't know anymore. That bugs me. But
yeah,
I hurt kids. I'm sorry, I don't care what they do with you. Just throw away the key.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish we would do more things. Even I'm not trying to sidetrack this, but even if like the people that are doing the shootings and stuff, let's put them, and I'm going to get a little gruesome with it, but let's torture the absolute poop out of them. See, I kept it clean. I made it edited.
You caught that. Yeah. No.
But no, I mean,
yeah,
anybody that's doing stuff like that, yes. And then also your pedophiles, which I don't know how anybody can even accept that and think that that's a good thing or be okay with that. Not saying they think it's a good thing, but to think it's okay, that's absolute garbage. I'm with you on that. Take them. I want tortures. I mean, we need to bring back all the old school stuff. We need here's the thing. You got to make an example out of them. If they always,
but the biggest thing is I like no possibility parole, put them in a miserable jail and let them rot. On the outside chance that they're not guilty is the part that worries me on that.
But when they go into those jails though, the thing that I will say that I love about the people in the prison, and this sounds bad.
I know what
when there's a pedophile, they absolutely destroy those people.
Right.
Like there could be somebody that gets in, you murdered. I'm making this up, so it's not like this, but you know, they murdered like 3 people or whatever. And it's like, okay, you know, he's in jail with us. We'll leave him, or prison. We'll leave him kind of be. And boom, oh, here's a pedophile, or here's somebody who raped a woman. Man, do they go after him? It's like it's like they know. Yeah.
Right.
What we did is wrong.
Yeah, but there's right and wrong, and there's really wrong. And
yes.
No, I agree with you. I want to get too crazy on this stuff, but you and I are in lockstep on that. My biggest thing is, though, I do worry about people that are wrongfully accused and wrongfully prosecuted. And we just need to be so clear on that prosecution world, because we got a little sideways on it. And it needs to be just based on facts. And if the facts lock them up forever. There's that song back when I was in school. Teachers, leave our kids alone. We don't need no education.
I know that.
It's like that was just kind of a fun,
Teachers,
goofy song.
Leave those kids alone.
Yeah, sorry, now it's got so much meaning. It's unbelievable, and it's sad because once again, we're all about protecting kids, and you and I. That's one of the many reasons why we bonded. It wasn't both, our love of the golf game, which you do much better than I do. So I can't say we share the passion of golf, but not the skills of golf.
Okay. Yeah. I'll leave it at that.
I played 9 holes out of 18 up in Orlando, where for the first 9 holes, I did nothing wrong. You would have been so proud of me. And I had witnesses. And so that was good. But then the second 9, that was back to playing Kelly golf.
And that's the thing. It happens. It happens all the time.
Hyping my drives, 3 of my approach shots almost hit the freaking stick. Dude,
no houses were hit. Nothing. Everybody was.
I didn't hit a house. I didn't hit a person. Years ago, I hit Greg Orndorff once by accident. He was up on the green. I was chipping on and kind of hit it back. Felt bad about that.
I got to share this. Well, first, I do want to say this real fast about the topic we were just in. I think too, when you see an example being set on somebody, it changes the tone on a lot of people. But when there's no true example or true punishment to it, then people think it's okay. And then when you're giving them the TV time of, hey, such and such did this, that also doesn't help either.
Right.
Because you're giving them credit and they're seeing it as if I did something. I don't want to say they think they did something good, but they see it as a spotlight, some attention.
Right.
Whereas set them as an example, torture them, whatever it is. And I promise you, more people are not going to want to do it. Like, I'm trying to think of how a good example of it would be is, if I was doing something and I see that I'm not supposed to do it, and I see somebody get punished for it, then I'm not going to do it because I just saw what happens if I don't do this. Now,
well, that's how we grew up. I'm the youngest of 9. So trust me.
Okay. Did you get spanked? Did you get spanked?
I got spanked once. The fear of getting spanked was enough in my household. Now, talk to the older kids in my family, it might have been different. But I was very
blinders on.
Well, I didn't have blinders
Careful
on.
on that.
My dad knew that with 9 kids, he had to keep the house in order, right? So we damn near marched in the household. We had a 5-bedroom house, but there was a lot of people in there, right? So you took your clothes, you didn't walk in the house and throw your jacket off and kick your shoes off, whatever you took off, you took up and you had to put in your room or put in a basket. There was no, because if one kid got out of hand, all of them got out of hand. So it was almost like prison growing. No, it wasn't. But there was, it was very, there wasn't a lot of leniency, and it was that fear of getting caught doing anything. But there had been some examples where some of my older brothers and sisters got in trouble, which made me go, geez, I better not do that, or dad's gonna, pull a belt out on me. I knew the belt existed, but my dad was a big, imposing man and a wonderful guy, and talk about a great golfer, as a scratch golfer. But he knew, and he'd been in World War II. He knew how to conduct himself to control a bunch of punk kids. But we definitely lived in fear of not getting out of line with dad. And I was mom's favorite, so I was a little loose with her, and I'd get away a little bit with her. But, I knew that line not to cross. But, when you take it to a much bigger level of people doing things to hurting people, whether it's women or children or other men or whatever it is. I agree with you. I don't think people live in fear anymore. This crap that they do to the police officers is unbelievable. I think, there's so much on that. But so what the heck you doing, brother? How's your arm after Tommy John surgery?
Arm is great. I feel amazing. Yeah, I mean, I'm throwing now. I'm 3 times a week at right now. I'm 105 feet. Next week I'll go even farther. It's getting closer to the bullpen. That's the thing, is like, now it's the goal of getting off that mound. So it's like, you can't wait to feel that, just to see what it feels like.
Right.
But the thing is, it's a process. That's the hardest thing in anything that we do in general, is trusting the process. We always want to go ahead, go faster, and for me as an athlete, what sucks is, I'm probably retiring. It's not I'm okay. Like, I'm going to see what this thing can do, but if it can't do anything, like, it's time to retire, and let's start helping, the youth and everything. Like, I do coach right now a little bit with the school that's by my house. I'm just keeping myself active. I'm starting to create some content that I'm doing on my YouTube. Like, I just did a golf video actually with he was actually Cowboys tight end Sean McKeon. He went to Michigan, so that was cool. And so we did a nice.
You're such a good video. Ohio boy.
Representing very well. But yeah, I'm just trying to keep myself active, because the thing is like I was starting to say, and I forgot, but as an athlete, I'm used to competing 24/7. Like, that's everything I did was competition. Well, now I don't have that. And now I'm watching, friends and everybody else do it. So it's like, all right, I need to find it. So now I've been killing it in the weight room. I'm down 16 pounds, getting more cut and lean.
Yeah, you look ripped.
Well, I don't know about all that, but I'm getting there. And I definitely am. I'm doing the carnivore diet this month, which has been really hard at times, because it can get boring. But I mean, I'm trying to keep myself as active as I possibly can. It's a different animal now, knowing that retirement is literally, I got my hand on the knob to get in to retirement. So that's interesting. I do want to say, because I meant to say, because you were talking about hitting people in golf, and there's a house that's on this course that I live on, and I hit it every single time I get to this hole. It's in my head. Like, I can't get it out. To me, it's like your yips of golf. It's like, you're not getting past this house. And it is a she comes out every single time and yells at me. And it's like, I literally told her one time, I hit the house. Actually, it wasn't even me. It was one of my buddies hit the house, and she came out and she started yelling at us. It's like, how do you not like memorize who I am or remember who I am? I'm here all the time, and I hit your house almost 90% of the time. And I was like, and I'm going to tell you the same thing every single time because I live on the golf course too. We live on the golf course. We're going to get hit by golf balls. And then she gave me one of the most ridiculous comebacks I've ever heard. And she was like, oh, so that's how that works. So if a person's walking on the sidewalk and a car just drives up and hits them, what about that? And I was like, are you completely out of your mind? That is not even the same thing at all. That person shouldn't have a license. What are you thinking? And she's like, well, that's what you're trying to tell me. I was like, no, I'm telling you that you live on a golf course. Golf balls will mistakenly fly over and hit your house because nobody out here is a pro. You, on the other hand, are a professional driver. Okay. We're all considered professional drivers once we get that license. You drive on the sidewalk, you need to get help. You either need to get better glasses, since we were talking about not being able to see,
Right.
or you just need to stop driving because it is not meant for you. There is no way. And she continued
the worst comparison ever.
Oh, and she continued to go off on me. I'm like, all right, I can't do this. And now, after she did that, I proceeded to have the worst next 3 holes because all I could think about was this lady thinks that if you drive on the sidewalk and hit somebody, it's the same as you hitting a golf ball into a house. I was like, what are we doing? So I had to
tell you
share
what,
that
the next time I visit and we're playing your course,
don't worry, we'll hit it.
let me know the house. I'm aiming for it.
It will be hysterical. I mean,
I tell you, have you seen the video where the guy's yelling at the guys that hit his house? And the guy's sitting there going, and the guy's kind of up on a hill. He goes, you live on a golf course. It's like,
yeah, I mean, it's
got to be you. It's your video.
It's 100% me. I say a little bit more, but I can't use all that stuff on here.
Yeah,
I mean, once you made the comment about the sidewalk thing, it was downhill for me. There was no holding back anymore.
There's logic is not going to be part of this conversation. What is it like? What is it arguing with stupid people? You know?
Yeah.
Who's the stupid one for doing?
That's 100% what it is. I can't believe that.
Wow. Trust fund woman? Have you dated her?
This lady, no. She's probably, if I could break her hip if I hit her with a golf ball. She's older. She farts mummy dust.
She's older than me.
Yeah, yes. She is definitely, she's older. And I get it. I know she's probably a sweet lady. So I got to at least give one good compliment to this. I know she probably means well, she's a sweet lady, but I just don't think the wheels are processing what's going on in that home.
Why did you take her an autographed picture of yourself?
Well, clearly she doesn't know who I am to begin with, to see me multiple times. So even if I brought that over, she's just going to think I'm something special coming to her house to like just drop off this, hey, here's an autographed picture of me.
And a gift card from Applebee's or something.
No, give her a gift card to Home Depot.
The window section.
Yes. See, you gotta get creative with it.
Yeah. So hey, we haven't talked on camera since friends of yours won some type of title. I think you actually, and you were doing some television.
Yeah.
Being interviewed about it, which is pretty cool. I saw a lot of those.
Yeah, I did. So first, I do want to say, because I know this isn't the one you're really talking about, but Michigan won the national title. So I do want to put that out there. I love that. Go blue. Go for the victors. But no, second, I got to watch the Rangers win the World Series, and it was cool. I got to cover it. And I learned a lot. That was part of the things of, basically looking for the next chapter in the off season, or I mean, in the retirement world. And man, it was so cool to celebrate. Like, I'm already one with the fans. I love my fans. I'm very grateful for them. I'm always interacting with them because without them, I wouldn't be who I am. And with that being said, I got to celebrate the World Series, and it was emotional for me. Not then though. I waited until I was kind of like out in my car. Like I didn't start bawling, but it like I got pretty teary eyed because it was like that could have been me. That could have been us. And it to be honest, I felt like it should have been us getting that chance. You know, we had it. We had the moment. I went back to back World Series, which is great. We got the first World Series trip, but to win it though is, I mean, we were one pitch away twice. And once I saw like in the ninth inning, they're winning by a lot. Everybody's starting to get amped up. We got two quick outs. And I was like, well, I'm going to record this moment because this is something that's going to be super special. And sure enough, my video ended up being a hit too, by the way. It was everybody. I had Barstool, all the news stations, ESPN, everything. They were all reaching out to take the video. I was like, yeah, take it. I don't care. Just if you can, cool, tag me so I can at least feel cool about it. But it's more for the fans. But to see everyone's reaction and the raw emotion of, I know what 2011 brought to this fan base, and that was hard. It was very, very hard. They felt like we now had a curse, everything. But to see live reactions and people hugging and kissing and loving and just celebrating and chugging drinks, and I mean, it was like, it was really, really cool. It hurt me, but it was really cool. And when I say it hurt me because like I said before, I wish that was us. I wish I was the one that was on the other side, coming home to this, coming home to having a parade, coming home to celebrate with the fans. Because what I had done before is I did buy champagne in the ALCS, or no, sorry, ALDS, ALCS. And if we had won the World Series, I was going to celebrate again with the fans. Like I bought, I want to say like 35 bottles of champagne and had everybody spraying. I wanted everybody to be a part of it. That was in it was 2011. And to see it was just, man, it was so cool. And seeing all the guys after, just telling them like, man, that was awesome. Congratulations. Thank you. You lifted up that whatever you want to call it, our past, you helped us get through
pass.
Like I don't know what our true thing. We didn't have a guy catch a ball in the outfield or a goat and stuff like that. We didn't have anything cool, no true curse, just actually it's David Freese, I guess would be it. But yeah, it was just it was wild. And it was really cool.
And then, other than my Nats winning, which was probably the most stressful postseason I've ever experienced, I swear to God, I was stressed out. I mean, I can't imagine what it's like to be a player, because just being a stupid fan, I can't honestly say I enjoyed it. I'm like, I don't ever want to be that emotionally attached to a team again. But I was very excited because of our friendship to watch the Rangers pull it off and everything. And I was, I know I was shooting you texts and everything along with everybody else, but it was great to see. And I felt like, that was sort of a victory for you as well, and all the fans, all the past players, everybody, but especially for your two teams in 10 and 11 had to have been a big deal.
Yeah, it was. And also, fun fact, I don't think many people even realize this until, I mean, they kind of found out later, but if you spell out road, that was the path that the Rangers went through. It was the Rays, the Orioles, the Astros, the Diamondbacks.
Oh, cool.
And then the S, if you wanted to put the S, it'd be series champions. So that would be it too. The other thing, Bruce Bochy beat the Texas Rangers in 2010, same exact day, same exact game, game 5. Bochy wins the World Series for the Rangers, same exact day, same exact game, game 5.
Right.
And Texas is involved in both of them.
That is
one's
pretty awesome.
Win, one's a loss, which is, it's really cool. So that was some of the cool stuff that was happening. It just, man, it's a wild thing. But to see this fan base, they got their World Series, and it's, in all reality too, I think it's put a little pressure on Jerry Jones.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to take away from the Rangers thing, but the Cowboys Cowboys are a big deal here. Like football is, I as much as I love, baseball and my sport and everything, Cowboys is number one. And Now, I mean, to me, I think before it might have been the Mavericks number 2, and then the Rangers 3, and the Stars 4. Now I think it's going to be Cowboys, Rangers, Mavs, Stars. But the Stars are really close too. So if the Stars can win the Stanley Cup this year, this would be huge for the city of Dallas and Fort Worth too, because it's together.
Right.
That would be wild. I mean, it would turn into a pretty big sports town. I mean, everybody loves to come and play here too. So I think that helps. And then you're seeing teams winning, especially in the baseball side of it. It's wild. The only thing I'm disappointed though about the Rangers in their offseason, and I just saw him sign yesterday, was Jordan Montgomery. They let him go. I think that was a bad move by them for somebody who's done so much for that team in that time span that he got to be there, and you just let him walk, and you see that he signs a 1-year deal. You couldn't give him a 1-year deal. That hurts.
I'm with you. That stuff is just, I never understand what the front office is doing sometimes on that stuff.
Don't worry, nobody knows.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I don't know. It could be something so stupid, but and it's not good for the game either. There's got to be some loyalties to great athletes. But I'm excited for what it was great to see. But in where did the team come from? I can't remember. Where were they before they went to Dallas?
The Washington Senators, baby.
Oh,
so you should be a true fan.
My hometown.
So and you're not a true fan, then you should be. Well, you are. You're a fan.
No, and I am a true fan. And I because of you, it became my favorite team. And I also said, any team you play for is going to be my favorite team that season. And I'm still hoping there's one more season that pops out of you. I'm hoping someone says, you know what, this guy's cooking it with this new arm. Let's give him one more season. But if they don't, I'm happy about that too. So.
Yeah, I mean, I can walk away and say I had a good career. Yeah, it's not a Hall of Fame career, but I had a good career in my eyes. That's all that matters. Yeah. And no, I know you're a fan. You're passionate, and the thing that's cool about it too is you have a National League and American League team is how you could look at it. Because and technically it is, and like you said, because you pointed it out as well, which I'm glad you did, it is the same team if you really think about it, because it came from you. We're a branch of the Washington Senators or Washington Nationals.
Yeah. So, well, the Senators, not the Nationals, because the Nationals are actually.
Well, I'm saying because of what they are now. But but I mean, you went from, it's kind of like the Cleveland Browns. We were Cleveland Browns, went to Baltimore, then we became Cleveland Browns again. So you're doing the same thing. Except you changed the name from Senators to Nationals.
I'm expanding my teams. But
yes, I love that though.
And it's funny, as when I was young, you had your favorite team, right? And you were very loyal to your team. But one of the things that happens when you get older is your favorite players and stuff, they move all over the place. And like growing up in DC in football, we hated Dallas, right? And then I was a little upset when my baseball team left and went to Dallas too. I'm not going to lie. It was a little hurtful because then we didn't have baseball for years. I couldn't support the Orioles because that was just wrong on so many levels. We didn't mix favorite teams. Yeah, great teams. So anyway, I couldn't stand the Phillies, right? And then they take Bryce Harper, and then they get shortstop. What's his name? Trey Turner. I'm like, some of my favorite players are now playing for the team I don't like, and now I've become much more of I appreciate the sports and the players more than I do getting too held up on one team. You're never going to see me probably wearing a jersey for anywhere, but I do get hopped up on certain teams when they're doing well. But
what do you think? What's your thoughts though on situation? Because I like that. This is actually a good conversation starter too. Is what would you think is better? To either be a fan of a team like a diehard, or be a fan of, for instance, in your case, your players left and went to other teams. Do you feel the fandom of just the sport in general and cheering for those guys, or would you rather see somebody be a fan of an actual team?
I think the natural thing for most people is to be a fan of a team, and I get it. But I have become a person where I'm more of a fan of the game. I love what I like this guy that won the golf tournament last Sunday. It's a great story. I didn't know who he was. He's only won twice in 10 years. And then, you learn a little bit more about him on Sunday. He's actually was a pretty great guy. He's got a wonderful wife with her PhD, wrote a book on winning, which I thought was really cool, and 2 kids. And then this guy was just so choked up. Here's a guy like you, an athlete who's worked all of his life to just get in that winner's circle. He had it once, and it took him 10 years to get back there. And again, he goes, I don't know if I'm ever going to be here again. He goes, there's so many great athletes. And, I just love watching great golf or great baseball or great athleticism and people doing it legally, doing it the right way, and out there and just putting it all out there, So I'm more of a fan of just excellence, I think, at this point in my life. Now, if I could ever get my Miami teams to start rocking again, maybe I'll.
But they might.
But once again, I enjoy. A lot of times I'll go to the baseball games, not to see my Marlins, but to see the people playing the Marlins.
Which is good too.
Yeah. There's 2 teams out there, and I just want the Marlins to step up and do great. But there's players out there that every season I want to see them perform. And it's fun to go out there and witness it and then watch. And then you see the players that come out there and it's like they forget how they got there and they're just kind of just, some of them are just playing the game and they're not really having their heart in it. I love to see the players that are freaking just grinding it out every freaking second of every game. There's an old tennis player in his mid-30s playing in Miami Sunday after the golf game. I switched channels and I'm watching a little tennis. And this guy, I don't know if he's going to be able to play the next day if he won anyway, right? I mean, he was
just gassed.
He had 2 braces on his ankles, but they went to OT in the 3rd set, and he almost pulled it off. And it was just like watching this guy that he's worth like $90 million. So he's not playing for the money. He's playing for the love of the game, and he's playing to beat that guy on the other side of the net. And after he did lose, after a great game, great set and match, he went over and they gave each other a hug and they were friends again. I love seeing that kind of grinded competition. I like to do that in business just as much as I like to see athletes do it. Y'all motivate us to do it in business and in life.
I mean, we try. I mean, that's the thing. Once you look at all the history in history books and everything too, is when it comes to war and the fighting, of course, once you're on the battlefield, you hate them. You hate them. But when you're off of it, you respect them. Yeah. That's the main thing, is it's the respect factor. Trust me, as soon as I get on the field and I'm facing whoever it is, they could be the nicest human being in the world. But I promise you, once we're on that field, we both hate each other. We're both trying to, I guess the word would be hurt each other. We want to be able to, I'm trying to take you out. I'm trying to win. I want to hit a home run off of you, and you want to strike me out, even though I said that backwards. It should be me.
You did say it backwards, which is fun.
Hitting a home run. But that's the philosophy. That's the mindset. You have to have a killer instinct. Mike Tyson, one of my favorite things, he's my favorite boxer, and I've got all of his quotes. Now, I'm not going to do any of the bad quotes that he says, but
I know which one you're going to do. You got to do it. It's a great one.
No, I can't do it. Well, the one that I posted it the other day. He was talking about how, he's humbled himself. He's accepting things, but he's got that fight. He wants to, get out there. And the way he put it is, if what is it? If I get, you know what? I can probably play it, but he does cuss in it though. It's okay if he cut. Okay,
let's do it.
So let me pull this back up, because this is a very, very good. It's motivational. Like he talks about war and
parents,
all of
plug
that
your
good
children's
stuff.
ear.
Yeah, I apologize. It will. But
no,
it's
real.
Why is he? Yeah.
While you're queuing this up, I'm going to tell you one thing. There's no way in God's green earth I'd get in the ring with Tyson today.
No.
That fight's going to be insane. I mean, did you see how ripped that guy is right now?
Yeah, he's 50. What, 52?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, he looks like he's 25 from the neck
It's
down.
nuts. All right, here it is. Excuse the language. There's not, I don't think there's too much, but it just talks about everything else. Hopefully this isn't too loud.
And all the boy, Charlemagne Achilles, the #1 boy of all warriors. From there, Alexander, Napoleon, I know them all. I read them all, I studied them all. I know the art of fight, I know the art of war. That's all I ever studied. That's why I'm so feared. That's why they feared me when I was in the ring. I was annihilated. That's all I was born for. Now those days are gone. It's empty. I'm nothing. I'm working in the art of humbleness. Can you believe me? That's the reason why I'm crying, because I'm not that person. And I miss them. Because sometimes I feel like a bitch. I don't want to say for games.
So that was like the thing, like he said, you know, how he feels like a bee. And he literally says, if he comes out again, meaning the Tyson that was in the ring, hell is coming with him.
Yeah.
And that tells me how crazy he is in the ring. Dude is scary. And his mindset, like you said, he's studied war. Everything he did was about war, and he brought war to the ring. That's crazy. Raw, if you spell it backwards.
Yeah, and he was, you know, you can age out, and maybe he hasn't, you know, and life goes on, but that athlete is still in him, you know, and I don't think it's left him completely. I don't think you can go out and fight a world-class 25-year-old boxer right now. But this kid that's about to fight him, I don't know if that's the best move.
Do you remember Roy Jones Jr. by any chance? Another boxer? They boxed. Okay, they boxed like maybe 2 years ago, something like that. It was just a sparring thing. They were doing it just for, you know, to make money, to show how quick Tyson still is. And Roy Jones was like, I just want to get in the ring. And he even said, like, when he got hit by Tyson, he's like, man, he still got it because that hurt. Like, he was like, I didn't want any piece of that anymore. He said Tyson was just getting too into it. Like, you know, he thought going in, I'm not saying this is the true thing that he thought, but I don't think he expected it to be like an actual match. Like, Tyson was getting into it, and he was kind of more nonchalant, like, you know, we're sparring, we're gonna have fun with this. And Tyson was like going for the kill.
Right.
So,
it's you know, and I'm sure you can relate to that more than most. You know,
the man in the arena.
Yeah, I mean, you've been on the mound, leading games, competing, throwing it all out there, and being at the twilight. And then you have to figure out your adjustment. You know, what's going to be your next move. I'd love to see you calling games, you know, and giving.
I mean, I hope I get that opportunity. I've been told I'm not throwing anybody under the bus, but I got to watch my social media. But I'm sorry, I'm not going to cater to one side. So
yeah, I want to hear people that are them. I don't want to hear somebody who's sugarcoating it or changing who they are to satisfy some politically
one
correct
side. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, and because you bring so much.
That's the thing. I mean, that's the thing.
That's all that matters.
In everyday life too, you can't just in this aspect, you can't just hire somebody to cater to your one side. You need to be able to have both sides.
Yeah. And be real. But I mean, when you're out there, you know, doing color at a baseball game, you know what the pitcher's thinking, you know what the batter's thinking, you know what the players are thinking. You bring so much more insight. That's why athletes make great color commentators. You know,
100%.
I can't remember. I'm terrible with names, as you know. There's this one guy that on the Golf Channel, and I think he was a golfer for like a half a minute, and he sits there and
Colt Nost.
No, it's another guy.
Oh, that's one of my buddies. He's a good
Brandon. No, this guy's not a good dude. This guy's whatever his name is. He's always pontificating on the players and all this stuff. And it's like, dude, you don't have a right to have an opinion. His opinion is as bad as mine. You know, you and I want to shoot the crap about sports. That's one thing. But when you're on the Golf Channel and you're sitting there talking about stuff like you're some Chambly, that's who it is. And he was a pro golfer for like a half minute. I can't, sorry, if anybody's friends with him, maybe he's a nice guy. Can't stand him on TV.
Can't stand the guy.
I don't think he's qualified to, so here's this guy who won last week. And I wish I could tell you his name. It's a great Italian name, 3 syllables, sounds like something. But he's up there and he's all raw when he won, but he's sitting there saying 10 years ago, he goes, when I started playing and I won, I felt like I deserved to be out there. He goes, now these guys are so freaking good. He goes, they're 20 years old. They're walking on major tournaments. And he goes, they have no fear. Their skill levels are unbelievable. He goes, I don't know if I'll ever be back here again. That was real. That's a guy who's been grinding it for 10 years and knows what he's talking about. I don't need this Chambly sitting on the couch talking about, well, when I played in the tour for 5 minutes and I won a pro-am, who cares, I like the people that have really been in the trenches talking about it,
Yeah.
That's why I love to talk about business. I've been in the trenches with business for, 45 years. So, I feel like I bring a little bit to the table when it comes to that, but not everything else. I'm just a fan. So I want to see you out there doing it. That's all I'm saying.
Hopefully one day we can make that happen. But if not, I think I'm going to do like stuff like get fans out and let them hit off me or something like that. Like have fun with it. Why not?
You're good with fans. I mean, I tell you, it's not just because you're a friend. I've seen a lot of athletes that aren't good people in public and stuff. And buddy, you bring it. You're just a good man,
Just got to be grateful for the people that you have. I mean, these are the people that make you who you are. You can't give them a time of day. Like that's messed up. Now I get it. If I was eating dinner or something with my family, okay, yeah, cool. At least give me that privacy. But anything else, I'm always open. Like I see people on the golf course, they talk to me. I actually go and talk to them and like, oh, how's that swing going? I want people to see I'm a normal person just like you. Cool. I got to play baseball and I made some money, but I'm still no different than you. I still do the same goofy stuff that you probably do. So,
right. Which makes you fun.
Yeah. You gotta be you.
Oh man, but you look great. I'm glad we got to get together. Wayne's going to be whining, but
I know
it was perfect.
Wayne, we're going to do another episode. I promise you. I don't care if it's next week, whatever it is, so that we can get the 4th one and you are a part of it. Because right now, Kelly has the advantage. He is up on you. Since this is my 3rd, he is 3-0. You are 2-0. Let's help get that back. Or you can just call me and we can do our own show and make it so that you are 3-3. I mean 3-0, just like Kelly.
He doesn't have the technology to do any of this.
Well, I was trying.
So I will stay number 1. I'll be 3-0 or 4-0, and he'll be 3-0.
I know.
Well, he'll be 3-1. He'll be 3-1.
Yeah.
This is a loss.
Yeah,
for him.
It is. You're right. Yeah. God dang. Yeah, I'm sorry.
We're competitive. That's just proof of it right there.
That's where you need the competition. I told you we got to have that.
Always have it. Okay, brother. Well, listen. Have a great rest of the week. Let's stay in touch. We'll do that 4th one soon. And I always appreciate your time and your friendship.
No problem. I do want to say one quick thing to kind of give motivational for people out there. In everyday life, don't tell yourself you can't do something. Just tell yourself you haven't done it yet. That was one of the greatest things I've ever heard. And it works like no other. Because I'd rather be told that I haven't done it yet or tell somebody that rather than saying I can't do it, because it just takes the opportunity to do it. And with that being said, that's why you don't need to say, I can't do it. Just say, I haven't done it yet.
Love it.
Thank you.
Hey, my best to your parents, your brother. Have a wonderful Easter, everybody.
Yes, sir. Happy Easter.
Later, brother.